Good morning. It's Thursday, November the 12th. A couple of months ago, in our small backyard, we had two close encounters with nature, both on the same day. A young siskin that had probably flown into a closed window lay seemingly lifeless on the ground. I picked it up to find that although dazed, it was still alive, and within a matter of minutes we had the delight of releasing it and seeing it soar away. A few hours later, Margaret had discovered an adult frog and a tiny offspring in the yard, clearly unable to get out. How they got there, we don't know, but we were able to lift them to safety in the garden. It was quite touching to give a little helping hand to nature. The trouble is, of course, that most of the problems that face animals, birds, and all living things are caused by us human beings, by our overexploitation of the earth and destruction of habitats. Living creatures need our help by desisting in our destructive ways and making sure that there's space for all animals, birds, insects, and plants. For only then can we guarantee not only their survival, but ours as well. One of my favourite childhood stories was Wind in the Willows, with its delightful description of mole and ratty and life on the river bank. And so I was especially pleased to hear that in an attempt to save our native water voles, 50 or so of them have recently been released in the river in the lovely Washburn Valley below Swinsty Reservoir. May they thrive. Recent warnings from Sir David Attenborough and Prince William and the launching of the Earthshot Prize, which they hope will become the Nobel Prize for the Environment, is a hopeful sign. But we all need to catch something of its spirit. The Bible was championing environmentalism long before such a word was thought of. The book of Genesis has Adam installed in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and guard it. The psalmist celebrates the wonders of nature as God's gift, whilst Jeremiah declares that God brought you into a fertile land to eat its fruit and rich produce. But you came and defiled my land and made my inheritance detestable. And the book of Job reminds us in chapter 7, the animals and birds have much they could teach you. Ask the creatures of earth and sea for their wisdom. The big question is, are we listening? Our prayer today is by Fiona Murdoch, who works for Eco Congregation in Ireland. Let us pray. God of the universe, we thank you for your many good gifts, for the beauty of creation and its rich and varied fruits, for clean water and fresh air, food and shelter, animals and plants. Forgive us for the times we have taken the earth's resources for granted and wasted what you have given us. Transform our hearts and minds so that we learn to care and share, to touch the earth with gentleness and with love, respecting all living things. Amen.